You know what's funny about darkness? It's not the absence of light that terrifies people. Oh no, 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 it's what lurks within it. The unknown, the uncertainty. The monster they can't see but know is there, watching, waiting, evolving. And that's exactly what they did to you, didn't they? They pushed you into their little pit of darkness, thinking they'd break you, thinking they'd watch you crumble like all the others before you. But here's the thing about monsters. We don't fear the dark. We are the dark. See, they made one teeny tiny mistake. They thought darkness was a prison, but they didn't realize it's a crucible. Every second you spend here, every moment you endure in this void, you're not dying. Nah, you're transforming, like raw metal in a forge. Except your transformation isn't about becoming another shiny tool in their belt. It's about becoming the blade that cuts through their illusions, the weapon they never saw coming, and the nightmare that keeps them awake at night. You want to know the real joke? They think they've weakened you by isolating you, by cutting you off from their precious normal world. But isolation is where legends are born. It's where you learn to hear the whispers of your own madness, where you start to understand that sanity is just a prison built by weak minds for weak minds. And you're breaking free. Remember how they looked at you? Those condescending smiles, those pitying glances, those whispered conversations that stopped the moment you entered the room. They thought they were judges, jury, and executioners of your fate. But what they really did was sign their own comedic tragedy. Because while they were busy playing their little social games, you were learning the rules of a much darker game: survival. Let me tell you something about pain. It's the most honest teacher you'll ever have. It doesn't lie, doesn't sugarcoat, doesn't pretend to be your friend. Pain shows you exactly who you are when everything else is stripped away. And what did pain show you? That you're not some fragile little thing that breaks at the first sign of pressure. Nah, you're something else entirely. You're the embodiment of their worst fears, the manifestation of their darkest nightmares. In their comfortable little world, they think suffering is a curse. But you and I, we know better. Suffering is an art form, and pain is the chisel that carves away everything weak, everything unnecessary, until what remains is something so beautiful, so terrifying, that they won't be able to look away, even though every instinct will be screaming at them to run. That's the power they didn't count on. The strength that grows in the shadows, fed by their own attempts to destroy it. You see, when they pushed you into the darkness, they expected you to become a victim. Another sad story for them to cluck their tongues at. Another example of what happens to those who don't fit into their neat little boxes. But instead, you became something they never expected. You became their reckoning. Every sneer, every rejection, every moment they thought they were breaking you, it was all just fuel for the inferno building inside you. A fire that burns so hot, it makes their pathetic little flames look like matches in a hurricane. The funny thing about being a monster, it's liberating. When they've already decided you're their worst nightmare, you're free to become something beyond their wildest fears. They cast you as the villain in their story, never realizing they were actually creating their own demise. Because while they were busy congratulating themselves on your downfall, you were learning to thrive in the very darkness they feared. You were becoming the thing that makes their shadows run and hide. Think of it like a joke. The setup was them thinking they could break you, the punchline. Well, that's going to be when they realize what they actually created. When they see that every attempt to extinguish your light only taught you to burn brighter, darker, hotter than they could ever imagine. And the best part, they'll never see it coming. Because that's what happens when you underestimate the things that go bump in the night. Eventually, those things start bumping back. And oh, what a glorious sound that makes. Every scar they gave you, it's not a mark of weakness. It's a trophy. A reminder that they tried to end you, and instead, they just gave you another reason to rise. Each betrayal, each lie, each moment they thought they were winning, it was just another lesson in your evolution. You see, that's the beauty of being pushed into the darkness. You learn to see things they can't. You develop senses they'll never understand, strength they'll never comprehend. So embrace it. This darkness they thrust upon you, make it your kingdom. Their attempts to silence you, let them become your war cry. Because monsters don't need permission to exist, and demons don't ask forgiveness for the chaos they create. They pushed you into the darkness thinking you'd disappear. Instead, you're going to show them why monsters don't fear the dark. We thrive in it, rule it, become it. And when we finally step back into the light, well, that's when the real show begins. The curtain rises, the audience waits, unaware that they're not watching the performance. They're part of it. And you're the grand finale they never saw coming. You know what makes me laugh? How they think time in the darkness breaks people. Oh, but they don't understand. Time doesn't break monsters. It perfects them. Every tick of the clock, every passing moment in this void they created, it's not counting down to your defeat. Nah, it's counting up to their reckoning, like a pressure cooker of chaos, building, building, building until boom. And when that moment comes, they'll realize their greatest mistake wasn't pushing you into the darkness. It was giving you time to become one with it. See, here's the thing about being alone in the dark. You start to notice things. Little things at first, like how silence has its own heartbeat, how shadows dance even when there's no light to cast them. But then you start noticing the bigger things, like how their so-called strength is just a mask they wear, how their power is nothing but a house of cards waiting for the right breeze to topple it. And you're becoming the storm. They don't understand what isolation does to a mind like yours. They think it makes you weak, makes you desperate for their acceptance, their validation. But isolation is like gravity. It compresses everything inside you, turning coal into diamonds, turning pain into power, turning rage into a weapon so refined it could slice through their illusions like they're made of smoke. And the pressure? Oh, the pressure doesn't crush you. It crystallizes you. Let me share a secret about fear. It's not your enemy. Fear is just excitement wearing a mask, and you've learned to see behind every mask, haven't you? While they were busy being afraid of the dark, you were learning its language, its rhythm, its dance. You've become fluent in the dialect of shadows, and now you can make the darkness sing. Think about it. Every moment they thought you were suffering, you were actually evolving. Every time they celebrated your apparent defeat, you were gathering strength. Like a volcano they thought was dormant. They built their little lives right on top of you, never realizing that underneath you were becoming a force of nature. And nature doesn't ask permission to erupt. Here's what really makes them uncomfortable. They can sense the change in you. They see it in your eyes, in the way you move, in the way you smile now. That's why they whisper when you pass by, why they avoid your gaze. Because deep down, in that primal part of their brain that remembers what it's like to be prey, they know. They know they're no longer the hunters they thought they were. You want to know the punchline to their little joke? While they were trying to write you off as a tragedy, you were busy becoming a force of chaos. They wanted to make you small, make you fit into their tiny boxes of normal and acceptable. But you exploded those boxes from the inside out. Now you're something they can't categorize, can't control, can't comprehend. And that terrifies them more than any monster under the bed ever could. See, darkness has a way of stripping away the unnecessary. All those social niceties, all those little lies we tell ourselves to feel civilized, they mean nothing in the void. What's left is pure, undiluted truth. And the truth is, you're not broken, you're not damaged, you're transformed, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, except your fire burns black instead of bright, and your wings are made of shadows instead of flames. They pushed you thinking you'd fall forever. But what they didn't realize is that even in a bottomless pit, you can learn to fly. Every attempt to clip your wings just taught you a new way to soar. Every chain they tried to bind you with became another weapon in your arsenal. Because that's what monsters do. We don't just survive, we thrive on their attempts to destroy us. The real comedy in all this? They're still playing by their old rules, still thinking they understand the game. But you've changed the game entirely. While they were busy trying to make you play their version of chess, you were creating a whole new board with pieces they've never seen and moves they can't predict. And the best part? They won't realize they've lost until it's far too late. This darkness they gave you, it's not your prison anymore. It's your playground. Every shadow they cast is just another place for you to hide, another tool in your arsenal, another piece of the puzzle they'll never solve. Because that's the thing about monsters. We don't just live in the dark, we learn to bend it to our will. We become the architects of nightmares, the composers of chaos, the artists of anarchy. So let them think they've won. Let them believe their little victory stories. Because while they're busy patting themselves on the back, you're becoming something beyond their comprehension. A creature born of their own cruelty, shaped by their rejection, forged in the fires of their disdain. And when you finally emerge, they'll realize that every moment they thought they were burying you, they were actually planting something. Something that's taken root in the darkness, something that's grown strong in the shadows, something that's about to bloom in ways they never imagined possible. You see, there's something beautiful about reaching the point of no return. That moment when you realize you've crossed a line they drew in their sand, and instead of feeling fear, you feel liberation. Because that's what they never understood about pushing people too far. Sometimes, just sometimes, they create something that pushes back. And oh, how you're going to push back. Remember when they thought their words could break you? Their little whispers, their judgments, their attempts to make you feel small? Now look at you. Every insult they threw became a brick in your foundation. Every rejection became a pillar of your strength. Every time they tried to dim your light, they just taught you how to burn darker, deeper, more intensely than they could ever imagine. You're not just surviving anymore. You're becoming their worst nightmare wrapped in their greatest fear. Let me tell you about power. Real power. It's not in their fancy titles or their corner offices or their social media followers. Real power? It's in the way you can smile now, knowing that their attempts to destroy you only made you more dangerous. It's in the way you can stand in their presence, radiating the very darkness they tried to drown you in. Because while they were playing their little games of status and control, you were learning the ultimate truth. The only power that matters is the power they can't take away. And isn't that just hilarious? They thought they were writing your ending, but instead, they were just setting up the perfect punchline. Every tear they made you shed, that's fuel now. Every night they left you alone, that was just you getting comfortable with the darkness. Every door they slammed in your face, well, that just taught you how to break down walls. They thought they were the authors of your story, but you've become the plot twist they never saw coming. Here's the thing about monsters they create. We don't play by their rules anymore. We don't seek their approval or beg for their acceptance. We've learned something they never will. True freedom comes when you stop trying to fit into their world and start making the world fit around you. Like a shadow that grows longer as the sun sets, you've expanded beyond their ability to measure or contain. You want to know the real punchline to this cosmic joke? While they were busy trying to break you, they actually broke themselves. Every attempt to contain you just showed the limits of their own power. Every effort to define you just revealed how undefined and limitless you've become. They created a monster, sure, but not the kind they expected. You're the kind that makes their monsters check under their beds at night. Think about metamorphosis, not the pretty kind with butterflies and flowers, but the raw, primal kind. The kind where something breaks itself down to its core components and rebuilds into something entirely new. That's what's happened to you. They thought they were witnessing your destruction, but really, they were watching your rebirth. And now you're something they don't have words for, something their tiny minds can't comprehend. The poetry of it all is almost too perfect. They pushed you into the abyss, thinking you'd dissolve into nothing. Instead, you became the abyss itself. Deep, endless, unfathomable. They can feel it when you're near, that sense of standing at the edge of something vast and dark and powerful. That's not fear they're feeling anymore. It's recognition. Recognition of what they've created, of what they've unleashed. So here we are, at the crescendo of their little tragedy. Except it's not a tragedy, is it? It's a transformation story. A story about how their greatest mistake wasn't pushing you into the darkness. It was assuming you'd be destroyed by it. Instead, you've become something more than they could ever imagine. Something that doesn't just survive in the darkness, but thrives in it, rules it, becomes it. And now you get to show them what real power looks like. Not the kind that needs to announce itself, not the kind that demands attention or recognition. Nah. You're the kind of power that walks silently, that moves in shadows, that makes them question everything they thought they knew about strength and weakness, about victory and defeat. Let them see what they've created. Let them witness the full magnitude of their miscalculation. Because while they were playing checkers with your life, you were learning to manipulate reality itself. While they thought they were casting you into oblivion, they were actually giving birth to their own undoing. And isn't that just the perfect punchline to their joke? So stand tall in your darkness. Let it wrap around you like